The war of words that shook the 2026 World Cup. While football fans around the world were eagerly waiting for goals, drama, and surprises on the pitch, a very different battle was unfolding off it. A single statement was enough to spark a global debate and turn the 2026 FIFA World Cup into the center of a heated discussion among football federations from different continents. So, what exactly happened? Why did comments attributed to UEFA President Alexander Ceferin generate such a strong reaction? And perhaps most importantly, was expanding the World Cup to 48 teams the right decision or a historic mistake? The controversy began when comments attributed to Alexander Ceferin, president of UEFA, resurfaced during the tournament. According to reports, he expressed concerns that the expanded 48-team format could lead to less exciting matches and a group stage that lacks the intensity fans have come to expect from previous World Cups. However, the response came faster and stronger than many anticipated. Within hours, a group of football federations released a joint statement rejecting those remarks and defending the expanded tournament. They argued that every nation competing at the World Cup had earned its place through qualification, and that the value of the competition should not be measured solely by the strength of traditional football powers. At that moment, the debate became much bigger than football, because the real question was no longer about a few matches or a specific tournament format. Instead, it became a debate about the very identity of the World Cup itself. Who does the World Cup belong to? Should it remain a competition reserved primarily for the strongest football nations? Or should it be a truly global event that gives emerging countries the opportunity to dream, compete, and make history on the biggest stage in the sport? Ever since FIFA announced the expansion from 32 teams to 48, opinions have been divided. Supporters argued that the new format would provide opportunities for nations that previously had little chance of qualifying. They believed it would help football grow globally and create new stories that inspire future generations. Critics, on the other hand, warned that increasing the number of participants could reduce the overall quality of some matches and dilute the competitive intensity that has traditionally defined the tournament. Although the decision was approved years ago, the controversy never completely disappeared, and with the tournament underway, the debate has returned to the spotlight once again. To understand the perspective of countries supporting the expanded format, imagine being a player from a small nation that has finally qualified for the World Cup after decades of effort. For that player, participating in the tournament is more than just another football match. It represents the realization of a lifelong dream and the hopes of millions of supporters back home. Even if the team loses against one of football's traditional giants, simply stepping onto the World Cup stage can be a historic achievement. That is why many federations believe that describing some matches as unimportant or uninteresting overlooks what those moments mean to players, fans, and entire nations. At the same time, supporters of the opposing view also raise legitimate concerns. A tournament featuring 48 teams inevitably creates a wider range of competitive levels. More teams mean more matches, and some of those games may not reach the same standard of quality or intensity as others. The success of the expanded format therefore depends not only on what happens on the pitch, but also on attendance figures, television audiences, and the tournament's ability to maintain excitement from start to finish. This leads to the question that only the players can answer. Will the newly qualified nations produce memorable upsets and inspiring stories that justify the expansion? Or will concerns about uneven competition ultimately prove correct? In the end, neither press conferences nor official statements will settle this debate. The real answer will come from the football itself. If the new participants deliver strong performances, create unforgettable moments, and capture the imagination of fans around the world, the expansion could be remembered as one of the most important decisions in World Cup history. But if mismatched contests dominate the tournament, critics will undoubtedly point to the results as evidence that the competition has expanded too far. Whatever happens, this controversy has already revealed a deeper divide within global football. A divide between those who believe the World Cup should remain an elite competition featuring only the strongest teams, and those who believe it should belong to the entire world, giving every nation a chance to compete, dream, and make history. Now we want to hear from you. Do you support the 48-team World Cup form?